Do you remember that time I was in Norway? I made an offer.
If you want to hire me for a rewire, where we put conduit inside your wall instead of just cable, website's below, give me a call and I'll come and rewire your house for you.
Well, I found myself a victim. Customer. So join me on this ØY special as I'm going to pilot rewiring a house with conduit in the UK.
It's been a nightmare. Oh! Look at the size of that. Just put my hand inside a wasp nest.
It looks like I've got a mole on my chin. What is that for?
So here we are, we're just starting. This is the house that we're rewiring here. It's this beautiful house out in the Hertfordshire countryside. But first, before we begin, let's meet the team.
Carry on working. What are you trying to do?
No, we just need to get you ready.
Don't lick your
I
fingers.
need to get you ready for you. There we go.
Is that air makeup?
There you go, you're ready now. So, got outside lights going on here. Basically, we've done a lot of the chasing and a lot of the mess just because I thought it wasn't really very interesting content. You've seen a wall be chased out 100,000 times. If you need to see that, find a video on it, or we can do another video on it. We've had to make the chases deep enough, obviously, for the conduit. We've had to take the skirting boards off and things, so it's a little bit more involved. Definitely a few more eggs need to be cracked for this omelette, but obviously in my opinion, and clearly in the customer's opinion, it's worth it. So light switches, we're not going to be using light switches. It's all going to be smart relays. So he's not decided on a system yet whether or not he's going to use Lutron, Shelly or Lightwave, Z-Wave actually, I think was the one he was talking about. But that will be on a control panel in here. I can't show you in there yet. We've got all the routes here ready. We'll be bringing through probably just a few 4mm feeds into here. There's going to be a kitchen island along here. You can see we've marked out the kitchen where it's going. I'll show you upstairs as well while we talk. So the reason why we need to rewire, or the reason why we are rewiring is because basically I came here for an inspection when the customer just bought the place. You'll be meeting the customer in a minute as well. He said, oh, you know, I want you to come and have a little look around it. And sorry, let me catch my breath and then do that again. I'm so fat. He just bought the place. He wanted an inspection done, an EICR, but I get here and the ceilings are down, the floorboards are half up, the plastering is already mid-progress, and the amount of junction boxes that were here, 16 different cables all converging in one place. So it's just like, do you know what? This is the opportunity to future-proof your home. If you've just moved in, you're going to decorate it how you want it. You're about to spend a load of money on it. Why not make sure that when you do that, all the things that are in the walls, the actual fabric of the building is solid and isn't going to need to be changed for a long time. I said to the customer, however, I have promised on my channel, if you remember, that the next rewire I do is going to be in conduit. The next rewire I do, I'm going to try and do in conduit.
Nice.
And he said, well, that makes total sense. I showed him some of the pictures of Norway and in Germany. You'll see the video of that soon. That's a work in progress. Using conduit everywhere. And I was like, wow, that makes so much sense. And basically, he opted for the conduit rewire. The plan is to have conduit, 25mm conduit to every socket and every place, and then singles cable between it, which in the UK is unheard of. But here's my thoughts with that. Okay, so you can actually see an old conduit in here. This is what we used in the olden days, back when things were done properly. Have a look at this, an old electrical conduit there. And you've got the earth wire coming off down to the board that's probably asbestos coated, so I won't touch that. Too late, I touched it. So that cavity down there goes down to the board. But these electrical conduits, these are usually 16mm. So if you think 16mm at the time was plenty of space, that was loads of space for the cables for the one socket in every bedroom and what was needed at the time. And now 20mm is probably plenty of space. But the whole reason I'm doing conduit is because I'm thinking not what we need now, but what's going to be helpful in 30, 40 years time for the next electrician that rewires this place or is working on this place. So I'm trying to put mostly 25mm in. There'll be spare runs going up into the loft, ready for solar and future storage. There'll be spare runs going to the garage, spare runs going ready for an extension. So when the next electrician comes here to do work, hopefully me, they're not going to be having to rip things out or change things around. Anyway, enough waffling. Let's get conduiting. Conduiting. Conduing? Conduiting. Ring. Conduitwittering? Conduiting. Definitely conduiting. I got this beast, which I bought from Tool Monster. If you want to use my code, you can go and buy yourself one of these, because I will make money from it. And that pays for my lovely head cameraman here to come keep me company. Basically, the materials for this job are severely discounted to the customer because this is a very non-standard job and it's the first one of its kind that I'm aware of in the UK. I didn't feel comfortable just passing on the cost of all of my fantasies to the customer. I think up here as well there's going to be solar. We can put like a board over there and mount the inverter. But if for now we just have a couple of empty 25mm conduits up here, we can stick a 6mm up here for the inverter, stick any data cables up for it. Cool.
Look it up. Johnny No Neck still likes DeWalt. If anyone's
I still like DeWalt. I've got no snobbery against DeWalt or Makita. That I like Milwaukee, obviously that's my favourite, but I used DeWalt for years and it was great. The batteries are cheap.
Yeah, well, once you just brought that up here, that just like made this look stupid.
Yeah, but it's a different tool. It's not the same thing. It's like an STS versus a combi drill. It's
yeah, that is like multi.
All right then. Well, it's a bit tricky now. We've got our roots.
Can't do
You might
nothing.
as well have your tea break.
Yeah, so we're going to have a tea. Oh. Let's have a tea.
All right then.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go have a cuppa.
Yeah.
You can have your Earl Grey, Corey.
I'm more of a peppermint tea boy now.
Peppermint tea.
One of the things that on a rewire, in standard rewires, is you wouldn't always remove all the old cables because you don't have to, and obviously once they're disconnected, they're dead. It's fine. But for my own OCD's sake, I love ripping out all the old cables, and if the customer wants to scrap them in, or if he doesn't want to, then I'll probably scrap them in. The satisfaction is unreal. I prefer it because you don't end up with a copper museum underneath your floor. You end up with actually just the cables that are needed in nice little neat runs, rather than having all this old tut and VIR and old speaker cables and stuff in there. Better quickly answer Johnny. Oh, they're here. Yes. That looks promising. Materials are here. Lovely. Here we go. Singles. How cool is that? Not that we've got singles. That's not that cool. But the fact that we have singles, 4mm, 1.5, 2.5 on a domestic rewire, that is pretty cool. Massive thanks to Expert Electrical, who have well, they're my wholesaler now that I use. They're not an online only wholesaler. They have branches, I believe, but it's not near me. But because I'm working all over the place, what I love with it is I'll get materials ordered to the customers' houses or to the sites, if they're happy with that, of course. And I can then have all of the stuff ordered. I don't have to carry tons of tut in my van. Saves a lot of space, saves a lot of hassle. Join me just mid. I've got a very excited Reese and a very excited me. We're just mid putting our first conduit in. If you come down and have a look, got to get these adapters, not fix the box back yet because I feel like it's going to be probably when we're actually fishing the cable. I have a feeling we might need to take this forwards. But you see, you've got the adapter in there, so it'll just be conduit in, conduit out. We'll run over to this socket here, under the floor, and we'll pop up just inside there. You can just fish the cable through, in theory. It's a perfect time to demonstrate the Norway tee, which is out now. You can buy this now. You have to go to the Tool Monster website and you can buy it. Oh, that was a wasp nest. I had to put my hand inside a wasp nest. I'm glad that's dead. Yeah, there, look at the size of that. I just put my hand through that. Ugh, I just don't want to put my hand through it to get it. I'm being a little girl. Ew. Got him. Got him along with a ton of wasp crap. Now the part I'm really worried about. Let's see if I can actually get a fish tape through this conduit. All right, moment of truth. Is it out? Oh yes, that was easy. That's a lovely fish tape. Fair play, Mr. Klein or Mrs. Klein. That is absolutely lovely. This is going to be a dream.
Well, I've been on it.
Wow,
95.
that is so cool. That's older than me. If there was juice in there for a dare, I definitely...
Would you?
I would do it, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, imagine making a snake bite out of that. That'd be lethal. I've had a bit of a nightmare as well with these walls. They're so crumbly. Like, literally, if you push them too hard, you can push through them. In old English homes, they stuck it together with, like, lime plaster and horsehair. So if you're drilling or you're rattling, the wall just starts crumbling apart because it's lining paper as well. So you can feel it's all loose behind the lining paper. So it's like, I don't want to make more damage. Yeah, I've just tried multi-tooling it with a multi-tool the other day to try and get through the initial layer of lime plaster, but there are still bits, especially where we've had to drill down at an angle, which has made some damage, which is a bit of a shame, but we have a decorator and plasterer coming in next week. So hopefully by the time you see this video, that will all be bougied up and beautiful. If you're wondering why we're not lifting them to the higher heights, the customer has requested they stay at the heights that they're at. And now for part P, where it says about, you know, the 450 for the boxes and 1200 for switches, that only applies to new builds. So as long as we're not making it any worse than how it was, regs wise for the part P, then that's just fine. You're through, yeah?
Yep.
Lovely. Okay. Nice. I like it. Cool. So now I'll get a drum of cables. I'll put all the singles on it. We can whip through there, and if that all goes well, then we'll get all the runs. We'll just get them all done. Alright then, this is going to be a bit of a mission, I reckon. Let's see, a lot of corners to get round. You hold on to that. Hey! God, let's have a look at that.
Lovely.
Oh wow, that was easy. I love this.
That was easy!
Brilliant, that is brilliant, that.
Good. I'm your biggest fan.
The mic's getting lost inside
I know,
the...
inside my chins. Yeah.
Here, go on,
I look like I've got
wire that
spot.
on and...
Yeah, where's the tape? Now come watch this bit of taping.
yeah, go on, I'll watch
Special
it.
bit of tape.
The world is watching this
world.
bit of taping. The world is watching.
So a professional does it. Four.
Oh, so if
Only
that's
four?
how a professional does it, how are you going to do it?
That was not nice, Corey.
Do you know what you say in Norwegian?
It's the last
If you
time.
just absolutely own someone. Like if you're in Stavanger, you say, egg on a deg. No, sorry, egg on a deg. Egg on a deg.
You become Norwegian.
Duble ovna. You got owned.
Pull it, baby, pull it. Pull.
If you want to be cool amongst all
Pull,
the
Corey, pull.
Norwegians, that's what you want to say. I could do an impression of John and you wouldn't know who was talking between me and Johnny.
Right, every day I wear shorts. I said
Right,
next week I've got
you ready?
pads on Corey.
Sometimes I like tomatoes in the morning, but sometimes I like sausage rolls, you know what I mean? That's why I'm a bit afraid. Yeah, the thing is, when we're around Edmonton, like, Islington, I know man Islington. You have met a man Islington.
He's trying to do a cook accent again.
What? That is one lovely little bit of conduit. In America, they just whack a wire nut on that and call it a day. Egg on a deg, America.
Go on, Reese. Go, Reese. Go, Reese.
That in good place, yeah? I've been a dummy. I should have left this in the bag. It didn't come with the drum, it just came like that.
One sec, Corey.
We'll see.
Just make me laugh. He's filming me and look what you're doing, Corey.
John.
Looks could have killed then, Corey. You'd have just fell over.
My life just flashed before my eyes. If you had fallen over, poor kids in Japan swimming in the sea would have felt it.
Oh, what's he like?
Yeah, lovely. I'm using these D-line clips. I used these on a video a little while back and I just love them. And I've got a bit addicted and I use them for everything just because you can't see them. They pretty much just blend in. Just wraps around, folds over and pokes through. Gorgeous. So I use it for SWA, conduit, everything now really. And if you buy these fixings with it, the D-line fixings, well I think there's lots of fixings you can use, but these ones that you can buy, they just screw straight in. If you've got a wall made of this material, this breeze block, it will just screw straight into that tight. No need for pre-drilling even, just solid. Shout out to my little Rogan, perfect for undoing those clips. Code below, 5% discount code. Help me pay for my cameraman's hair conditioner. Thank you very much. And sausage rolls for John. Here we go, so that is the end of day one. So we've got most of the downstairs is all piped up and conduited in. We just need to the tubes are in. We just need to put all the tubes in now for the kitchen, so that shouldn't be too bad. And then we're on to lighting circuits, which is where it gets a bit more interesting because we have the smart lighting. So yeah, I think we'll be into tomorrow where I'm going to be vlogging. Hiya. We're back, it's another day. I think I was supposed to do the whole floor pan up if I wanted it to be a really good filmmaker series, but unfortunately I'm not going to be winning any amateur filmmaker awards anytime soon, so we're not going to worry about that. But today we are on with the sockets. So I'm just trying to find good routes basically for things. So you can see there we've got the box chopped in, ready for the conduits to come up, and you can see the cable routes. Another lovely, completely unnecessary junction box. Literally got these everywhere. Should we have a little look inside it? There we go. And the trouble is when you're testing, unless there's a loose connection, you're never really going to know that's there. Which is why I kind of always say, if you've got the opportunity to rewire when you buy a place, now is the perfect time to do it before you put down your expensive carpet, before you plaster and put on nice wall paneling or whatever you're going to end up doing here. Oh man, I need to sneeze. Right, I'm going to cut here so that I can sneeze. I'll come back to you when we're doing something interesting. Right, so we're having a bit of an issue getting the conduits from that side of the house to that side of the house. Reason being, cables that are there currently are twin and earth cables, and they're all wrapped around pipes and a bit crappy, and they're potentially hot pipes. We tried getting a rod through, just to see for the bants and giggles, and we've hit a point here, annoyingly, tiled bathroom, and then here, big old steel beam just there. So the only notch for that steel beam is over there, which runs through this bathroom. So customer Reese is volunteered to have the job, which is everything's the wrong way round. This isn't right, but you know what? If you want to do it, I'm not going to stop you.
Ripping up my own bathroom.
Ripping up your own bathroom. What's your plan then?
Well, I think the little hole in the joist and the steel is running through there, which lining up makes us about here. So if we can lift up here, annoyingly got some ply underneath here as well. So if we can lift up some ply, get to the floorboards, get the floorboards up, and then see what we're dealing with access. As long as we can get through that joist, then we can work out a way out.
Okay.
I'm going to replace this floor anyway, so...
You don't have to justify yourself, it's alright, it's your house.
It's my house, yeah.
Yeah, let me just...
So let's get rid of this. Neatly done with a knife rather than ripping.
Well, the customer might be watching this, do you know what I mean? You happy with that?
I don't know, we'll see. Oh, you're joking.
Seriously?
Board, that's weird to board over a board. I thought this would have been floorboards.
That was why the joist spacings didn't make sense. Well, in that case, I don't mind just drilling a hole in that.
Just drill a hole in that, yeah.
Blimmin' board on top of board on top of board. I've got a hole saw, because all I want to do is stick a camera down in there. I've gone through pipes before, believe it or not, and I don't fancy doing it again. So you can see there is pipes there that are in, and I just don't know if they run that way, so I'm not risking it. I'm going to quickly drain down the heating system first, make sure that is properly empty, and then drill very cautiously through the wood. This customer has actually seen the video where I went through a pipe, so I don't think either of us fancied episode 2 of the saga in his house. I'm aware that this is not a heating system pipe, but just seeing the pipes going under the ground has kind of brought back enough memories for me to be careful. I can see a cable cutting across and some pipes. Again, I can't really see a whole lot, so that's annoying. Probably would have been better off in that joist or that joist. Still being there. There is an old newspaper. Right in there, that is the hole where all the cables come through. It is a route all the way through to the other room, I believe. I think we have a route past the steel. So what we can do is we can pop the cables in there, run them through all the way through to that room and then across, and we can just divert out once we're in that room. We've got the route now through. So you see that rod there? That goes all the way through out into that next room now. So that's pretty sweet. Just a bit of a pain getting it there. Yeah, got this bad boy.
Yeah, nice.
Sit that in. That should do the trick. I think it should be a clear run. Oh, is it? Here. So we've got rods now from there all the way through. Lovely bit of Copex in to here. Go for it. There we go. Lovely. Let's get these pulled out then. Hiya, welcome back. Today is day 3. I wasn't actually planning on filming today because we've got so much to get on with. So I'm just trying to smash this out with Johnny, and we've already done a lot of the stuff that we've already filmed. So it's just repeating that really. I was going to come back with my second fixing, but our fish tape isn't long enough to do one of the runs. So what I've got is connected up the Hoover to this conduit here for bedroom 1 because it's such a long run. And what I'll do is I'll turn that on. I then will attach this string to this rubber glove, or at least a thumb or a finger off of it or something, and then suck it through from the other side, and we'll see how effective that is. So I've got the string here with a little bit of rubber glove tied to the end. So he's going to go and man the Hoover on the other side, and I can just bung that in there and watch. As soon as he turns that Hoover on, that string will just disappear up. Ready and waiting. Look at that. Nice. We have string.
Yep. Oh, wow.
Give us a noise.
Nice. Nice.
Right, it's another day. Sorry, I forgot to do another transition again from yesterday, but we need a transition. I'll tell you what, just have this picture of a cat. There we go, there's your transition. My hope was today would be second fixing and finished. However, sometimes you don't always get what you hope for. We're still first fixing. This stuff takes forever. It's a pain in the bum. But the trouble is as well, we've had to run routes and then pull it back and redo it because there's too many angles, there's too many corners, and then you can't pull conduit through it. We need pull boxes. Can't really put pull boxes anywhere, so we've just ended up having to pull it back and reroute it smoother and easier ways. So yeah, it's been a faff, but anyway, we're nearly there now. We're just finishing off all the lighting. You can see here, this is going to come back. I think we'll probably put this into a circular pattress box, finish it in there, and then mount the ceiling rose to that. The smoke alarms come to square pattress boxes, and the smoke alarms will mount on that. In here, I did think about trying to have some kind of cable tray or fixings, but I think it's actually better to have just his boxing this out, and I think this might be also a shared route potentially for plumbing and other stuff. So what I'll do is I'll probably just put some all-round band on that, some magic band, and fix that into the corner neatly, like something like that. I'll have to comb them all out first, obviously, and then they can stay there to be covered round. you mind just telling him you've pulled a bit too much of that bathroom fan out, please? How much of the fold songs can we play before we get copyright struck? I think it's 5 seconds, right. Let's see if you know your folds. Right, let's just say we can only play 5 seconds before that's an easy one. It's a really easy one. Copyright. 4, 3, 2, 1. Copyright. Can't do any more than that. Anyway, that's who we're working to do today. Got a lad who was walking past site on Wednesday. I was getting out of the van. Oh, Corey. Says, oh, I've just started college. I love your videos, really helpful. Been doing work experience. I'm doing my level 2 just down the road at a college. Can't say which one it was. So I said, oh well, just seemed really nice. You know, you get a vibe. Someone's a nice person. I said, oh well, if you're free on Friday, it's usually people get Fridays off at college. Come and give us a hand. He was like, oh, that'd be great. So I turned up to work today. He's already sitting there waiting outside. That is very good. If you want to impress someone that you're doing work experience for, and you want to get asked again, then do that. And at the minute, I'm not someone who will just make the apprentice make the teas and coffees for a start, because I don't really even drink that much tea and coffee, but also because they're there to learn, they're not there to be your slave. But at the same time, they do have to start somewhere and at a level where to begin with they're not going to be speeding you up, so they do need to just assist you, push you forward, you know, whether that is cleaning up, putting tools away, getting tools out, that kind of thing, just to begin with, while they're learning the ropes and watching you work. So I've got him at the minute rolling back the carpets neatly, sweeping, cleaning, taking nails out of boards and laying them back down. And you know what? Not one complaint. He's up there doing it, so very cool. By the time people see this video, they would have seen my Norwegian apprentice. Last week I had a little Norwegian apprentice with me. It's not quite as pretty as my Norwegian apprentice, but what can we do? Orange. It's a bit of a danger, that.
Colourblind electrician.
Colourblind in your old age. I think it's all them steroids you're taking at the gym. I know you're on them.
It's called protein shakes.
That's what they all call them.
Nourishment. You had nourishments? Love them.
Pringles have got all your essential vitamins and minerals in.
Chest there on.
What I've been doing, just to keep these all neat and spooling them off, is getting them all equidistant just so they don't snag up, and then just use that to hold it, so as it pulls, it's pulling through there. It just keeps them a bit neater, having that handle. I can take the beer as well if you like. Thank you, Expert Electrical. Said I got a load more 20mm. Our Flexicons all arrived. And singles. I feel bad. I've sent Stu out and I've got all the stuff now. DPD have held our order for days for some reason. Expert Electrical have been amazing, like chasing it up and trying to sort it out for me. But even whilst the guy who owns it's been on his stag do, he's still been trying to sort it out for me, which is really cool. Just been a nightmare. So I've kind of ended up ordering more materials to replace this stuff. So now I've ended up with it twice. A huge box for that. Alright, we've got our Cat 6 as well now. All them trees.
We're just waiting for Corey to take this on.
Alright, ready?
He's ready.
Okay, hold up 1 sec. Oh yeah, come on. Yeah. I'm trying.
That's it, Corey.
So we've got the Doncaster Cables EV Ultra cable. I'll show you the end of this. It's a high tough cable, and it's also got a Cat 5 inside of there. So my plan is to run one of those through to the garage, ready for if they want a car charger in there. While we've got the boards up, we might as well. Because that cable is perfect for EV cables, because you can use the Cat 5 cable for CT or for a bit of a lower quality data connection, which for car chargers usually is absolutely fine. You just put it on your LAN, like your local area network, or whatever you want to put it onto. And I'll probably do another run out the front, ready for a board as well. And I'll just put a junction box on there for now. We're going to run a 6mm high tough through to the garage, ready for if they want battery storage, and then that can go inside there, or even they could put the inverter in there for the solar panels if they want. Ideally you want the inverter in the loft, because DC doesn't travel very well. Did you know that when you're doing DC, the voltage drop is ×2? Because on alternating current, a 30 meter run, you'd calculate your volt drop equation. Volt drop is equal to your millivolts per ampere meter lost times your length divided by 1,000. Except on DC cable, it's a lot longer because you have to calculate both runs. That's the whole circuit. So a 30 meter run, all of a sudden you've got to calculate it to 60 meters on DC. So usually I'll put the inverter in the loft, and yeah, we're just going to run a 6mm through to there for battery storage or whatever they want. But for now, it will just be junction boxes and inside the board spare. Pull this out. If you just want to reel that down to me.
Yeah.
This really hurts your hands. It's getting the balance right, because you don't want to burn up the existing cables in there. So not pulling too hard, but just keeping that constant gentle pressure. Just when you get to the end of this, do an insulation resistance test and find that they're all worn out. So as soon as we've pulled the last cable in, I'll be doing IR testing. So what we've got here is 3 switch lines, because they're on the same breaker, they're on the same circuit. I'm sharing the neutral and sharing the earth. The only thing that needs to change is the switch. So the switch will be going through 3 separate smart relays, which I can explain all of that when we're actually doing it. I've got these JCCs, everything basically, just because I'm a huge fan of them, because they're actually made by electricians. So there's little things that you don't really think about when you're actually doing a job, like that are handy until you see it. For example, the garage lights, which I'll show you, they have like special conduit entries where it's at a perfect angle to get a conduit in, but I'll explain it all later when I'm actually doing it. But yeah, they do everything. I didn't realise that. I thought they just did downlighters, but they actually make floodlights, downlights, everything. So now will be the time to show you these. So these are the D-line clips, and what I'm using these just because, well, for a start, it just blends into the conduit. You can't even see they're there. I know this is hidden, but it's my own satisfaction. There we go. Now, I'll show you. You just lay the cable in, or the conduit, the pipe, whatever you're running. Poke it through the appropriately sized hole. Wrap it round. The old school boys that used to use the back wing clips, if they're still around, I don't know. Be well familiar and comfortable with this.
I remember that.
I was about to say.
Yeah, oh really?
Yeah.
Wow, you guys are old. What are you still doing at work? I bet you guys even remember the 90s. Jeez. My memory starts roughly around Dick and Dom in the Bungalow. That's my first kind of...
So late. So late.
That was where everything started, mate. That's where it started getting spicy. I think it should change to BC before Corey.
It's not
So far we're in year 24 AC after Corey.
I'll tell you what I'm using, because the laser...
Not that I think the world revolves around me, but
piece of wood, and it's just literally like...
time good. There we go. So they're ready to pop in now. So we'll leave them first fixed. All the kitchen fitting needs to do is drill 2 holes, 2 little 25mm holes that can pop into the units, and then we can fit our dado inside of that, and that'll be lovely.
Corey, did you not order any tape?
I've got 2 rolls in my van.
Well, it'd be nice if we could have some, please.
Well, there's half a thing on there.
I don't care. We'll just fill
He's
up there.
fuming.
Right, come on, Corey, put this through.
Come on, moody bum.
It's not moody, it's just...
Stress isn't good for you. If you're doing all you can, and there's there's no more reason to stress. All you can do is your best. And don't worry about the rest. Oh, stop pointing at me, I need more rhymes. Just eat some chicken breast.
Are you pulling?
Don't test. I'm pulling. I can do both. I can multitask. I think we're all trying our best.
All trying our best.
So let's stop stressing and all have a bit more fun.
Just trying to...
You did seem a little bit stressed when you launched that tape into the room quite angrily.
You had a good week?
You had a KFC, didn't you? Oh, there we go. Oh, look.
It's alright.
Yeah, we got it.
No. We
Right,
ripped
so
our
I'm glad
hand
you're
out.
happy to answer it. We put it through.
It's bleeding.
Postman.
It's lovely. As soon as it goes, you stand by the door. When the postman goes to put it through, we send you a dog.
Thank you, mate.
Snatch it out of their hand.
I think maybe you were a pit bull in a past life.
Yes, I-
You could be a stunt double for the Churchill dog. You know, oh yes. We got some fairy liquid in that cupboard. That should, in theory, come through here easy. In theory.
There's one holding, me pulling, two pushing.
John, I'm trying my best. We look like council workers. 5 of us watching the one. We're doing this and then we're having a massive tidy up because it's killing me. Before we carry on with anything.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Whatever you're doing, just keep doing it. It is working.
This is awesome. Keep pushing for me. Don't give up.
Oh look, you've turned into Mr. Motivational now. Just whatever you do, Corey, don't give up.
Yeah.
Whatever you do in your life, people are going to be soundbiting you and making you into them cheesy business pages. There's going to be a picture of an old lion, picture of Thomas. There's going to be a picture of Thomas Shelby with your voice over it. Whatever you're doing, just don't give up. I saw an ad the other day in the newspaper. It was £50 for a woman that reckons she'll do anything. I'm thinking, that is cheap labour. I might hire her, get some steel toe caps on her and be like, right, you said to do anything. Get in that loft, run that cable for me. Oh, this is like Rocky Balboa, number 3. This is beautiful. If this snaps, you're going to kill Ted. You're literally going to kill him.
Kill someone. I'll just get in my van and go home.
You said this is the worst thing in the world. This looks to me like the
Look at
best.
that come off, look.
Oh, I hope they've not lost any others in there.
No, keep going.
If we've lost others in there, I'll cry.
I feel that's what you've done, Corey. Look. Oh.
Jeez. Have we got them all?
Yes. That come off the last minute. Can you add them and eat that? Can you add them and eat that?
I planned it.
Yeah. Done.
That's engineering at its finest. That's called planned
yeah,
obsolescence
camera off
right
that,
there. You ready for me to cut the cord?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh, it's beautiful. It was only a struggle because we're having this many 4 mils come down it. So we've got a 4 mil which is going to run directly to the hob, and then one for all the appliances and a couple of sockets. And this one is empty for future proofing. It will be, because this is, the cupboard's only coming up to here, so I'll be able to unclip it and pull cables through it if you want. And if you just pull in some 1.5s or something down it, it's very possible. Good luck to whoever wants to get a 6 mil down there. It's not very achievable without pull boxes. So Reese has said, why do you need to do apprenticeships? To learn how to second fix. I could do that in seconds.
I did not say that, but it sort of went along those lines.
No, I think you could be right. You could be fine. Try not to lose the conduit above the ceiling. Cool. Yeah, but yeah. So you get on like an old critique. There is exposed copper.
What?
On the blue.
You're taller than me.
On the blue and the neutral.
Wait, hold on, let me check. I can't see that.
I'll take a picture for you.
Take a picture.
But to be fair, it probably would be nice with the bootlace ferrule to get it all in. So, but I think it's all right in this terminal just because it's like more of a pull down and a clamp.
How do you rate it out of 10?
There's no 5s. There's only right or wrong. Sorry.
It was hardly exposed either. It was in a plastic casing as well. It was just. I'll take a 6.
I'll take a 6. I'm pretty sure my girlfriend said that when she met me. So we've got Ted here working away. Ted is doing his level 2 in college. He was just walking past the other day, asked to come in, so I thought, yeah, why not? He's busy. He's been helping me pull cables, taping all up. I was just putting the floorboards back down. Now it's just a case of these last little few runs, which are just taking ages. So we're going to get the old pipe. You could probably play some trumpet on it. Don't have the lungs for that. I think I'll go for F sharp next time. So we're going to go up into there and there'll be a little fuse spur or something inside that cupboard, don't know what yet. And then down, out, along our little run, round to the next point, which will be, I believe here, a dishwasher, and then back out round to the ignition load for the hob. How nice are these clips though?
I love these clips.
They're so good. I've got a code for these clips down, but no, I haven't really. They're just nice clips. But if D-Line want to give me the code for these clips and they're watching this, feel free, I'll take it. There's going to be an island here, so we've marked out the kitchen on the wall there. It ends here, and then this is a little island where they're going to have a gas hob and a socket. A gas hob, because it runs on gas, all it needs is an igniter just for that little spark, so it's usually just a little plug with a 3 amp fuse in it. So that's enough to get easily to there and then into the sockets. So that is the kitchen, first fixed. The cool thing is, because there's a super odd one, have a look at the end. This will unscrew, sorry, state in my hands. And then that screws in there. And then I don't even need any tape. Better for the environment, huh? I say as I've just used 500 meters of plastic per day. But then the cables can just go in there. It's a little finger traplet. Stuck. So I'll get cabling this up. The reason why they're all a bit off center here, sounds like an excuse that I made up, but it's not. Oh no. Is they're going to come through there, one little slot. So I want one more to come down here and across, and then they will be coming out the back of the cupboard like that through a piece of ply, straight into the back of my dado. Everything for a reason. I feel like this is as good a time as ever to talk about the people that keep trying to sponsor me. Let me just say, first of all, I'm flattered and I really appreciate it, but my LinkedIn profile at the minute just seems to be a gateway to China and random people that want to sponsor their products. But I'm all for it, I don't mind. I'll sponsor stuff, pay me money. Let's be honest, why is anyone doing sponsorship? Let's not pretend it's for the gift of love, it's for money. And if it helps my channel by promoting something that's genuinely useful, like a tool or a product or something where I think this is going to help the industry, cool, I'm all for it. Or say like Tradeify, something I use anyway, genuinely helps me. If they want to pay me money, give me a code to sign people up, all for it, no problem. But if you're not willing to let me give an honest review and my honest opinion, or if I don't use it anyways, and then my rule is, unfortunately, I'm not taking it. And you'll be amazed at how many companies reach out and say, yeah, we want you to review our product, we want you to sponsor it on your channel. And I say, okay, am I allowed to give an unbiased, honest review? No, you have to bring out these key points. Well, it's not a review then, is it? It's an advert. Maybe from time to time, I'll do an advert, because at the end of the day, the production value I'm trying to achieve, I'm not really making any amount of money from it. I'm investing pretty much everything I get back into it, like paying for a really good editor. People give me credit for the videos being well produced. Mate, I'm not doing anything. I've just got a good editor. I send him the files and I pray. I'm like, there's no way he's going to be able to make something out of this. And the editor seems to pull one out the bag. And now having Stu, our lovely cameraman, I want to pay people and pay them fairly as well. So all of that stuff costs money. But if I'm doing an advert, then I want you to know it's an advert. If it's integrated, then you've got to be able to let me give my honest opinion on it, or it's got to be something that I use anyways. So yeah, that's just my little rant to all the people from Zhongshan that messaged me about reviewing LED lights and using their fake Quagos and their products on LinkedIn. And then when I say, can I give an honest review, they don't reply to me anymore. That does bring me though to today's legitimate episode sponsor, Tradeify. Again, a company who I have given them feedback, positive and negative, stuff that I'm like, I feel like this feature could be changed slightly, and they've actually listened to me and they listen to their users. So therefore that is a product I am happy to promote. If you've not tried it, it's really handy, you should give it a go. I spend more time on there probably than talking to my loved ones, because that is the joy of running a business. But yeah, it's really cool. And obviously you helping my sponsors out, mainly My Energy, Tool Monster and Tradeify, they're kind of the main guys that are helping me push my channel at the minute. By helping them out and by trying out their products, which by the way, it's free to try Tradeify anyways, that directly helps my channel out. I mean, or you can just do a massive cash donation to my channel and that will help too. But then the only thing is, I'll probably move to the Palmers and start making videos, and there won't really be any point working. The choice is yours. Give, but don't give too much.
Hello again, it's me, your very tired, burnt out presenter of this channel. Oh my goodness, okay, sorry I've been very bad with updating this, but this has just been such a crazy couple of weeks. Literally every single project that I'm working on is come to a head this week. So I've got a project in Berlin that I'm working on, which video is being worked on. That's finishing now. I've got a big thermal battery job. That's finishing this week. This was meant to finish last Friday, but now I'm here on my own. Fortunately, the customer is amazing. He's given us some more time to finish up, but I was here till 8 o'clock last night working on this cupboard. I'll show you where we're at the minute with it. So basically, I just ply lined it because the wood was really nasty, so I've put this ply on at the back and then cut a little slot there for all the things to come out. Carpenter Corey. Then I'm mounting everything to that. Basically, it comes through trunking. It's going to come into the board through these bush and lock rings. And then this enters here. This is where all our lighting controls are going. So it's all going to be smart lighting controls. Hopefully by the time this comes out, right, it's going to be winter time, I think, when this comes out. And I'm hoping I'm going to have my feet up. I'm going to be in some lovely cabin in the woods somewhere, drinking hot chocolate with some nice brandy in it, overlooking a mountain with a log cabin fire going. No, not a log cabin fire. That would be deadly. A fire inside of a log cabin, safely contained, and I'll be cozy and warm. I sound like a Headspace nighttime video. Put yourself, you're in a cabin, and switch off your body one step at a time. Headspace, if you want to sponsor me, or get me to be a voiceover person for your nighttime shutdown, happy to do it. Welcome back. It's a dungaree type of day. Say hello to my little friend down here. That happens when you don't drink enough water and you're up really late wiring panels. Basically, I've just been a yes man for this job. The customer is so lovely, so I want to keep them happy. So everything they've said, I've just gone, yeah, no problem. Yeah, no problem, I can do that. Yeah, same time, yeah, fine, I can do that. And now it's actually coming down to it. Like, I just can't do it. I feel like Bob the Builder on a depressive episode. I can't do it. No, I can. He's back today. I'm just wiring out this panel at the minute. Come around and have a little look. So you can see I've got these Wago terminal blocks. So they're commoning out a lot of the neutrals and earths. I have 3 different circuits in here. So I've got my downstairs areas, my upstairs areas. Again, these labels are just temporary, just so I don't lose sight of what they are until I get better labels for them. And then some outdoor circuits. But these dimmers are what the customer expects. Again, me going, no problem, I'll fit them for you. But yeah, the customers spec them, and I've not used them before, but they're Z-Wave dimmers, and basically he will then go in on the computer, program them all, assign them each a room and a function, so they'll be given an address. How I've basically wired it, which is why there are so many conduits here, along with a lot of spare ones as well, is because each room has its own point. So it goes one room back to here, one room back to here, and not just one room, it might be one light fitting back to here, another light fitting back to here. So it's filled it out quite quickly. Anyway, my plan today is to get this on. I've second fixed almost everything. Last night had a bit of a late one and got all the bare ends either Wagoed up or connected up to things. So now I can start testing things and switching things on. I feel like this job started off as the epic rewire. One video for a rewire, and it's turned into Corey's starting up a business crisis. In my video where I was up north, I made a whole point of saying, yeah, you know, I'm not really planning on expanding, I'm not really interested in that. But at the minute I'm so busy, it's like I either need to really get better at saying no to things, or I need to start taking on people. Right, let's crack on. Let me show you around the job. Inside the bathroom here, we're going to be having an LED tape in this corner. So I've run this cable over here. We're going to have like a nice little corner profile all the way down and an LED tape. So I couldn't really think of a way to make the lights look nice in the ceiling because we're under here. I'll show you how we've done the lights actually, because people were wondering how we terminate the conduit
to a downlight. So we've got the JCC V50 downlights. In fact, every light in this property is JCC, from the LED tape to the garage lights to everything, because basically, same as with a lot of things in my company, I'm trying to make it so that I have one brand that does the majority of things, just to make it easier with warranties and everything, and they're good quality. So the singles come in there and then come out as flex, and then it bounces around the last few lights as flex, because you can actually just pull them through and rewire them anyways. Inside the kitchen cupboard, I'll show you, we will put a little desk tidy in there, 70mm desk tidy, but we've got dado trunking. I got that off of Instagram, Mark Electrician. He's the first one I've seen using dado trunking inside a kitchen cupboard, and it just looks awesome. So all of your appliances are plugged in, so you don't need spurs for them, because otherwise if you have a spur you don't have any selectivity or discrimination. You've got a 13 amp fuse in line with another 13 amp fuse, whereas at least now you just have one. If you want to take it out, just unplug it, swap a new one. You don't have to cut any leads, void any manufacturer's warranties. So that's why we've decided to do that. The sockets yet to fit. You see you've got conduit, they're going to go into a back box there. It's been a nightmare. If I'm doing this again, a conduit rewire, lesson 1, allow way more time than a normal rewire. That was done with me, allowing pretty much the same time as a standard rewire. Lesson 2 is try and find the pre-wired flexible conduit, or see if I can find a flexible conduit with a smooth inside, and also wear the dungarees every day. Oh, that went right up my flipping nail bed. Oh, my least favourite part of any board change ever is getting the tails in. Absolutely hate it. It's a weird thing I've got into, but I'm really into them. Dates. One thing I think is quite great. It says they can be recycled. Got some dates. Not affected. You can't recycle them. Complete advertisement lie, but even so, dates with some peanut butter, melt a bit of dark chocolate on them. Oof. Lovely little snack. It keeps things moving as well. I've got these in. I'll show you how they go, right? And I've used these D-line clips. Basically, I got sent a little intro pack, and I've literally just been using them for absolutely everything. I've actually got them on the Copex there, at the back. On the tails, just to hold it neat and tidy. Here's a little trick to neaten up your fly leads. I get these little sticky tabs and the baby little cable ties. Wrap that around. Cable tie are on. For people that say, oh, you shouldn't put cable ties in consumer units because of rating factors, you're the people that no one likes at parties. Hi, nice to meet you. What are you drinking? You know, the moon landings were fake, right? Go home, son. Bring your cable tie opinions with you. In this board here, I've got these AFDDs. That's the arc fault detection devices. So if there's a series or a parallel arc fault, basically something that's likely to cause a fire in an appliance or in the socket, then it'll trip. I've only got it on socket circuits, so I've not bothered with it on some of the lower risk circuits in the lights because they're expensive. Even these Verso ones are a bit cheaper than the others. They're still super expensive, so I don't fancy putting them on every circuit if they're not necessary. Like it's very unlikely you're going to get an arc fault enough to start a fire from a lighting circuit with LED lights on it. But one thing I'd have to say I like with this Verso board is the space at the bottom. There's so much space for me to bring cables in. Like when it's really tight, you got like wedge cables up and around the bus bar. It's a right pain in the bum, but not this one. Okay, so I'll show you these. I've got these little Wago terminals. So what you do is you put these little shorting jumper bars in there, and I'm going to separate the circuits like that. Those 6 terminals, or 3 connectors, they're on the same circuit. These 2 connectors here are on the same circuit, so they'll go together. And you do not want to mess this up and link the wrong ones, because otherwise it will create a big bang and trip your breaker. There you go. Have a little look at that. These are all shorted out now, so the earths are common across the circuit. So this is how I've designed it to be, so that you've kind of got one lighting panel but with 3 MCBs for it. It's very much the way it's done in when you have like a KNX panel or something. You'll just have a row of breakers, and if I had space in here I would have liked to have done that. I had a little row of breakers there and then them all coming off to their respective things. Don't, stop. Oh, this is the worst. I need an apprentice. I'm gonna give Ted a call. So I've got a job for you. Oh, they're everywhere. Oh, I feel like when Kevin lost his soup in the office.
I'm serious about this stuff. It's probably the thing I do best.
I feel like that. I'm not looking at it. The stage just can't get any suckier. Okay, the cameraman needs to go home now. I've done a bit of a mission day. Everything's second fix now, pretty much. I just need to do some testing and some finishing touches. I'm gonna have to work late tonight. The cameraman has to go. He's going on holiday. And I just don't feel like filming myself. I just want to crack it out. So hopefully the next time you see me, this is all going to be finished. I will have hopefully had all the sockets on, everything plastered and ready to go. So I'll see you then. Okay, welcome back. It is the last day of the rewire. Let me show you what we've got going on. So I've got Ted here. He's just going to be sticking up some of these outside lights. So we've got these little mini whisker boxes. He's just putting a stuffing gland on those and coming out. We're coming into these JCC fittings. I didn't actually know they made floodlights, but one long night of perusing through their catalogue, I've ended up getting just about everything they sell. On the other hand, I'm going to be inside the garage doing some work, so I'll show you inside there. So I'm doing these lights here. They're the best lights of this style, I think, in the market right now. It's called the Tough LED Pro. For a start, the clips stay out, which is really nice. Reason number two, see that? When you're mounting them to conduit, if you're in a commercial setup, you'll understand exactly what I mean. When you hang these off of end boxes or through boxes, they've already got the guide for the beezer box screws, so you don't have to try and line it up or whatever. You can literally just drill your hole, do the boxes. They've got the centre mark distances, little clever bits of thoughtfulness from the designer that really let you know this isn't just a suit that's designed it, it's actually someone who's been on the tools. Even the connector blocks, you can put them in multiple places. They've got a position there, position there, position there, position there. So wherever the cable comes through, you've got somewhere to put it, and then you can just clip the cables in and dress them inside the light. I'm putting in a microwave sensor in here, so let me just quickly grab that. It's just a very fancy motion sensor. If you know the scientific difference, then please comment it below. The only difference with the microwave sensor is the mains input needs to go through here. So that plugs into the mains. I think we opt for side by side. Is it like the Rio de Janeiro? Rio de Janeiro? Is it like the... Don't film me, film the shadow. Maybe we stagger them. Oh, this is a hard decision because we've got this bar here. My OCD says right in the middle there and right in the middle there, but I don't think the garage door's going to appreciate that. I think we just go here, down the middle. It's not quite the centre, is it? But at least when Reece sees this, he's going to come in and be like, why the heck haven't you put him in the centre? He's going to see I have put a lot of thought into it. What's your take on Phil Collins? All of a sudden I've hit an age where olives taste nice and Phil Collins is alright. He's more than alright, he's actually pretty good. I'll start losing my continence soon. Off the back of that Norway video, I've had probably 4 or 5 customers saying to me, yeah, I want a conduit rewire as well. That makes so much sense. I was last here about a week ago, and I went back to Norway, and I thought, you know, I'm going to investigate a bit more thoroughly exactly their techniques and how they do things. And you know what I realised? I just don't know if we're ready for conduit yet, because this has been such a nightmare to do, because our accessories aren't all designed for it. These lights are JCC, big up JCC. Like in terms of sockets and things, their boxes, so like how deep that is, right? Now some boxes, to get a switch back, that's going to be conflicting, so you have to cut that short, which is such a pain. Whereas the ones in Europe, their back boxes are designed for it. The tube just comes down and clicks into the box, and the actual conduit that you buy is pre-wired, has all the cables in it already, so you don't have to think about trying to pull anything through and fish tapes or any hassle like that. I've got another rewire that I've just quoted for, I've just had it accepted, and fortunately I learned my lessons off the back of this one, but I'm going to see if I can get pre-wired conduit for it. That will just save me such an inordinate amount of time, because otherwise you're effectively doing everything twice. You've got to run it in and then you've got to cable it. I still think it's great, yeah, if you want to rewire something in future or whatever, it's there ready for you. So just all the sockets in the house.
Yeah.
Thanks, mate. Upstairs lights, outside lights, smokes, yeah. So right now I'm just doing all the finishing touches. So here's fixing back sockets, neatening them up, labelling them, just checking they're nice and tight. I'm labelling everything. I like to label it inside the board as well as outside the board, so that when you've got the cover off, if you're doing an EICR, just makes it a little bit easier for the next person that's working here. But other than that, it's all pretty smooth. It's just these finishing touches. This is the central point here for all of the lighting and fans. So I ran a 25mm up here with 3 points. So originally I thought I'll have a permanent for the fan and then have 2 relays up here. But the customer doesn't want the overrun on these ones. All he wants is these connected in. So I've got basically a feed for the lighting, feed for fan 1, feed for fan 2. This is going to be very, very boring for you to watch. So come back to us when we're doing something a little bit more interesting. Alrighty, Aphrodite. Something more interesting. I did promise. There you go. This is more interesting. I've got a driver and some LED tape. Oh, look at that cob LED tape. Very cool. My plan is I'm going to get the downstairs bathroom lights running and I'm going to make them look cool. I'm going to come out of one of these Z-Wave dimmers. So I've allocated one here for it already, downstairs bathroom. Oh, by the way, if you're wondering why I'm using DIN rail rather than the actual Z-Wave things, it's because they're like, I think they're like £40 each for a little piece of plastic to clip it onto a DIN rail. So I thought, I can't really justify that. So cable ties are a heck of a lot cheaper and do the job and still look super neat. But this is the LED driver, so I'm coming out of this into some Cat 6, which is perfectly fine and rated enough for 24 volts DC. So that's going to be coming out of the downstairs bathroom Z-Wave dimmer into this and then out and off to do the downstairs bathroom. I love it. It's just a bit different to a downlight because we were trying to think of what's the best way to light it up in here. There's only about that much clearance between there and the stairs, so either one of those big ugly flat lights or an LED tape in the corner. And what I thought would be cool is if we put an RGBW strip in there, we could have it like coloured according to what job you're doing in here. It could be a nice bright colour if you're cleaning up, or you know, if you're just in here brushing your teeth, then it can be a nice clean colour. Where did you think I was going with that? Gross. I'm going to get Ted to get this prepped and get this installed. Even just use this as a little guide, because that's really soft plaster into the corner. You know, 6mm red plug, screw through. Right. Bob's your uncle. Janet's your aunt. Stop it. Who are you trying to impress?
All the ladies on watching videos.
Mate, as far as I'm aware, there is no ladies watching this video. There's probably only about 0.00001% of my audience are ladies. But please, I would love to be wrong. I would really love to be wrong. That would make mine, and it would definitely make young Ted's day. So if you're a lady and you're watching this channel, then please comment below. Okay, downstairs bathroom. Is it on right now?
Oh yeah, they're on.
Bang in. Times just are sketchy. There's an old adage that goes something like, every time I solder a joint, an electronic engineer somewhere cries. I am usually good at it. It's just hard to do like this. I need to buy a solder mate. No, I don't have teeth. Here, can I borrow your teeth for a minute, please? Hope I get away with it. Oh, do that. Alright then, cool. So the bathroom is done. So I've got my little snag nest that I'm working through. I'm going to let Ted get on with some of them. Like, there needs to be some trunking lid cut and put on there. He's going to wire up the conduits that I've pulled in out there for the lights and fit a socket out there. I'm going to be doing a little bit of testing and some snagging. Okay, so the plan under here was to use some dado trunking, just because it looks so much nicer. And rather than cut all the plugs off and wire them into fused spurs, just have them on plugs. I never really would have thought to put dado inside a house. Mark Electrician on Instagram, pretty legendary fella work-wise. I honestly aspire to be that neat. And that is one of the positive things with social media, I have to say. We often hear about the negative things. People talk about the old days sometimes, like it was only positive things that happened. Oh, we didn't have phones then. Well, you know, you also had like Hiroshima and some pretty horrendous things. But yeah, these social media can be very toxic. That is true. It can be not very nice, but it also can be super useful for getting tips and tricks and little ideas. Like I'm on this, I use it sparingly, but when I do use it, I go on now and screenshot ideas. I'll take things and I'll apply them. So that's pretty nice. Right. I think we're ready to test. I think we're ready to test. I think we're ready to test. Cool, so we've got the outside lights all on now. So you see how nice they look wicked. We've got James here. This is James from JNS. He comes out to site and cleans my van for me, which is, might sound lazy, but I mean, when you finish work every day at like 7 o'clock and you don't like having a messy van, that's very nice. And Nate, that looks amazing. Thanks so much. And then round here, we've got these floodlights. Oh, they're not set to come on yet because it's still quite light, but yeah, we've got the floodlights on. Ted has absolutely crushed this, and he's done a great job there as well. Okay, we need to change the lux so they both match, but I don't know if you can really see it, but on top it's worked perfectly where it's drilled and all the brick dust has gone into the silicone, so it really blends in. Time to switch on the last few lights and tidy up. Let me have a look if I have one. I'm gonna find something to give to him. Something cool. That also doesn't encourage him to play with plugs. Just give him that torch. He can have it. It's too cute, I can't say no. Okay, you can have that torch if you like.
Wow, what do you say?
Do you want to keep that torch?
Thank you.
That's okay, you're welcome. I'll just add it to Daddy's bill. No, I'm joking. There we go. They'll probably flick off for the microwave sensors to kick in a minute, but that's it. They look lovely, and that casts such a nice light in here. There's not really any shadows. That would be the microwave sensors. Yeah, there we go. And now they'll stay on. That's a lovely light, I've got to say. JCC, fair play. But that is us finished with second fix. While Ted's been cabling these up and wiring these up and doing his jobs, I've run around, done all my tests. So to answer the question, should you rewire your home in the UK inside conduit? The answer is maybe. I haven't really decided yet. This one was such a learning curve, and I've wired commercial buildings and conduits tons of time. Never commercial flexible conduit like this, usually in galv, steel, trunking, that kind of thing. But in terms of doing it inside a house, it's so much more labour intensive and so much more expensive. So if you really are doing something like where you know you're going to keep it for a long time, say you're spending a lot of money on some fancy wooden panelling or something like that, I'd say, okay, fair enough, it's worth doing. I really need to turn the whole time up on that. I'll adjust that after this. But in terms of it being standard, I can see why it's not standard yet, but it's not the electrician's fault and it's not the consumer's fault. For some reason, we just don't have the stuff over here to make it right. If we start bringing over pre-wired conduit and we start bringing over accessories actually made to take conduit, then absolutely all day long wiring conduit. So my next mission, which I'll be doing from not next episode but the one after that or the one after that, I'm going to be looking at seeing if I can go to these places and actually buy European standard pre-wired flex accessories that actually take it, and then really start to make it useful in the UK, because what we have right now sucks. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment and share.